Bang.
I ain't taking nothing but win.
What up, everybody? Welcome to another edition of the Unscripted Sports Show. I'm your host, MoneyE, back here for the MLB Weekend Recap and Power Rankings Week 22. As we are getting closer to the playoffs, some big series coming up here. Enjoying this as the Phillies and Mets start a 4-game series. There's some other series that have playoff implications. Let me check here. Let's see. So, other big series for playoff implications: Cincinnati and San Diego, both are in the wild card race. Cincinnati is, I think, 4 games back from the Mets, who they took 2 out of 3 from. Cleveland, the Royals are playing for a wild card and second in that division. That has playoff implications. Seattle's playing the Cardinals. The Cardinals are not exactly in the race, but let me see if they are. Wild card. I mean, they are. They're 4.5 games out. And Seattle is only 1.5 games up on Texas and 2 on Kansas City, and definitely for the final wild card. So that's a big series for both clubs. You got Rangers and Brewers. Brewers are trying to finish off the division, the AL Central. Not AL. They used to be in AL Central, so they're trying to seal. They're trying to wrap up the NL Central. They're up 7.5 games up. I don't know what the magic number is right now. Magic number. Let's say. I thought the app would have the magic number already, but no. They're up 7.5 games up, so they're trying to wrap that division up. I'm pretty sure it's probably around what the Phillies are, 13. So, and the Rangers are fighting for the last wild card, as they are, as I said, they are 1.5 games back from Seattle. So that's a huge series for both clubs. Giants and Diamondbacks. They've crawled back into the race. They are only 4 games out from the wild card. Arizona's only 4.5 games out. So that's a big series there. Dodgers are trying to get back on track as they had another bad week. They've been playing bad baseball for the last month. So let's see what happens there. So there is one. And then Red Sox are in Sacramento to play the Athletics, but Athletics are not in the race, but Red Sox, it's a big series for them. But I'm talking about series that have implications for both teams. The Mets Phillies. Phillies can match number 13 as they can close the gap in winning the division. Cleveland and Kansas City are both in the wild card races. They're not going to win the division, but they're both in the fighting for a wild card. Cincinnati, San Diego fighting for a wild card. St. Louis and Seattle both are fighting for a wild card in their leagues. Brewers and Rangers. Brewers are trying to close out their division, and Rangers are fighting for division. Fighting for they even division race in theirs. Is that? I mean, they're fighting for a division race too, but they're only 4 games. So the Rangers are fighting for a wild card and a division. They probably rather get the division because that's probably easier. but they're only 1.5 games out from the last wild card from Seattle. So that's a huge series for both clubs, as I said, Rangers and Brewers. If there's another big series other than the Phillies, it's the Brewers and Rangers. And then Diamondbacks and Giants both have crawled back into the wild card race in the NL because the Mets have struggled. So both teams are only 4 and 4.5 games out, and the Reds are only 3 or 4. Reds are only 4 games out. So there's currently 4 teams that are 4 games back from the Mets. That's the Cincinnati Reds, who they lost 2 out of 3 to. The San Francisco Giants, who are somehow back in the race. They're 7-3 in the last 10. Arizona is 7-3 in the last 10, and St. Louis is 7-3 in the last 10. And Arizona and San Francisco play each other. So yeah, so you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 series that involve teams that are in the playoff race. That 7 games, 7 series starting this week, Monday through Thursday, however how many games it is. Let's see, Thursday. Phillies is a 4-game series. Kansas City, Cleveland is a 4-game series. That's it. So there's only 2 4-game series that have playoff implications. But 5 of those series, 5 of the 7 are 3-game series, so 7 series that involve both teams that are both in playoff implications. Phillies Mets for the division and Mets for the wild card. Mets are trying to close the gap for the NL East, and the Phillies are trying to put it away. What am I saying? San Diego and Cincinnati are fighting for a wild card. San Diego is second wild, and Cincinnati is 4 games back from the Mets for the wild card, for the last wild card. The Brewers are trying to close out their division, and Rangers are fighting for 2 spots. They're either fighting for they're 4 games back from Houston for the division and 1.5 games out from the last wild card. So Rangers, and that's a huge series, might even be bigger than the Phillies and Mets because the Rangers are trying to stay in the playoff race. So 7 big series this week, 7 big series from Monday through Wednesday or Thursday. There's only 2 that are 4-game series, so that's the 2 division races, 2 division game series. That's Mets and Phillies, and then Royals and Guardians are 4-game series. The rest are 3, but there are 7 series that have big playoff implications. So playoff races here. Remember it. I love a playoff race. 7 big series and then this weekend. Let's see what we have for this weekend. On top for this weekend. Friday, Kansas City and Phillies. Big implications. Yankees, Red Sox, huge series. Both are fighting for the division. Mets and Rangers, that's a huge series because as I said, both the Rangers and Mets are going to be coming off big series. And the Phillies and Royals and Phillies are both coming off big series, so they're going into the weekend with another big series. So that's Brewers and Cardinals. The Cardinals are still in the race. Dodgers and Giants, only 4 games out from the because the Dodgers have struggled. Oh, they're 7 games out. Never mind. So there's even some big series this weekend too. So, fun times in Major League Baseball right now as we wind down in the regular season. 3 more weeks left. I'd say about 12-ish games for each team left. So that's about, is it 12 games left? feel like it's more. I don't think it's 12 games. Let's see. No, it doesn't sound like 12 games left for each team. That does not sound like it's 19 games left. So there's about 19, 20 games left for each team. So, and the Phillies are currently winning 1-0. Other score, and again, these series won't take effect for my power ranking, but I'll give it an update anyway. Phillies are winning 1-0. Guardians are up 2-0. Braves are up 5-0 to Cubs. Yeah. I almost took the Cubs in the parlay, but the Cubs have been struggling since the All-Star break, so I decided not to do that. So let's see for here's the notes tab. I don't know what this would be for. Good to know that we have that. Well, that's good to know that we have that, and then a private chat, and they're adding more stuff. StreamYard's adding more stuff to this, so I'm happy with StreamYard. Thank you, StreamYard, for adding more stuff. And with that said, let's get with it. Oh, I wanted to go over this series. I mentioned it a couple times. Cincinnati took 2 out of 3 from the Mets. The Blue Jays lost 2 out of 3 to the Yankees. The Yankees closed the gap in that series, in that division. The Red Sox lose 2 out of 3 to the Diamondbacks, so they didn't gain any ground on the Blue Jays or the Yankees. Cubs, well, I think they lost 2 out of 3. Yeah, the Cubs lost 2 out of 3. San Francisco lost 2 out of 3. The Giants won. Giants lost 2 out of 3. Dodgers lost 2 out of 3. They went 1-5 last week. 1-5. Brewers swept the Pirates. They did what they had to do. Dodgers keep on struggling. Let's just hit Alonzo Polar Bear. And I can't stand that guy. As a player, as a Met. I can't stand any Mets, so Mets player. So number 15, let's start out with number 15. The Texas Rangers stay at number 15 with 3-3 this week. They are still 1.5 games out because the Seattle Mariners keep on struggling. Nobody dropped out from the top 15 this week. So nobody's new in the top 15. So Rangers stay at number 15. As I said, they went 3-3. They won. Let's see, they won. They won 2 out of 3 from Houston. And then they lost 2 out of 3 to the Rangers. I mean, they lost 2 out of 3 to the Diamondbacks. Diamondbacks have been hot lately. They might be the Detroit Tigers of last year, trading guys at the deadline and sneaking into the playoffs. Man, are they the Detroit Tigers last year where Detroit trades people at the deadline and goes in a row and into the playoffs. The Diamondbacks be that team this year. They have been red hot since the deadline. Coming at number 14, Kansas City Royals. Drop from number. They flip flop with the Cleveland Guardians. Ironically, they're playing each other. As I said, they went 3-3. They went 3-3. But maybe I'll use. They went 3-3. And they're number 14 on this list. Sliding from number 13. And number 13 is the Cleveland Guardians. They're playing this week in the 4-game series. So big series for both clubs. The winner will probably be in second place unless they split. So the Cleveland Guardians have been playing well lately. They're a team that struggles for 2 weeks and then wins for 2 weeks, struggles, wins, struggles. So a couple of weeks ago, I had them out of the top 15 because they were struggling, and now they're back in the race. So that's how baseball's been going this year for a lot of teams, even the contenders. So Cleveland Guardians move up from number 14 to 13. They flip flop with Kansas City, and they're number 13. Number 12 this week is the Seattle Mariners, who have been struggling. I think 3 weeks. Them in Houston. So they haven't lost any ground with Houston because Houston's been struggling too. Mariners went 2-4 this week again. They've been struggling. I don't know what's wrong with them. Their pitching hasn't been great. Their offense has been subpar. So I don't know what's wrong with Seattle. It's just that time of year where they start to choke, probably. Seattle Mariners, number 12. Number 11 is the Houston Astros, the team they're trying to catch. They've been struggling the last month. 3-4 the last month. Or last 2 months they've been struggling. Ever since I moved them to number 1 and then started to slow down. They started to slow down and then they had that hot streak for a month where I moved them up every week. And then ever since I moved them to number 1, and then they lost ground and then started losing. So they go 3-4 this week. They gained one game against Houston. They come at number 12. Number 11, number 10. That's the end of the bottom 5. Coming in at number 10, the New York Mets starting to slowly get back in where they were for most of the year. The New York Mets, as I said, mentioned it a couple times already. Big series against the Phillies. Down 1-0 right now. And Bryce Harper ground out. Need a big series from Bryce Harper. Come on, Bryce. Need a big series from you. Need to draw some walks here. Get this pitch count up for the Mets. Coming at number 9, the San Diego Padres. Oh, the Mets went 3-3. They lost 2 out of 3 to the Reds, and they took 2 out of 3 from. Who did they take 2 out of 3 from? Oh, Tigers. They took 2 out of 3 from the Tigers. That's right. I forgot that. I think Thompson needs to change the lineup tomorrow. I don't know if Bryce should be leading off. I know what he was trying to do. Spark the team, yeah, I know. But I don't think it's working. So where was I? Number 9? San Diego Padres. San Diego Padres, a team that's been struggling. They've been struggling. It's the same thing in the West, in the NL West. San Diego's been struggling, but the Dodgers have been struggling, and San Diego can't get any ground in them. Just like the Astros have been struggling, and Seattle can't get any ground. There's something wrong with the AL West and the NL West because the Dodgers and Astros are both struggling like badly, like not normally for their standards. Their last month, those two teams have been struggling, and teams that are trying to catch them, San Diego was in first place for one day or something, or 2 days. And I forgot to share it. Let me share this. I've been talking and not sharing. So yeah. The Rangers 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, and 9. Let me make this. It's a little dark out. This won't show me. Speaking of Dodgers come in number 8. I think this is the lowest I have had the Dodgers all season is number 8. And they've been struggling. They went 1-5 this week. After I moved them up back to the top 5, they went 1-5. They lost 2 out of 3 to the Orioles, and they got smoked and swept by the. They got swept by the. They got swept by the Pirates. They got swept by the Pirates, yo. Pirates. They got swept by the Pirates. And look at that. The Pirates have swept the Dodgers, the Phillies, the Mets. They swept 3 teams. And then they get swept by the Brewers. The Brewers are the only top contender going to Pittsburgh and sweep them. Of the National League teams, of the top 4 National League teams, or 4 to 5 National League teams, I don't know where. The Dodgers, the Phillies, and the Mets all got swept by the Pirates, and the Brewers sweep the Pirates. So, coming at number 8, Los Angeles Dodgers, as I said. 1-5 this week. Swept by the Pirates. We started 3 to the Orioles. Yeah. And number 7 is the Boston Red Sox. They're staying in the race, but they went 3-3 this week, so they didn't gain any ground in the Blue Jays while the Yankees beat them. So they come in at number 7. Coming at number 6 is the Chicago Cubs, who also went 3-3. But since the Dodgers and San Diego have been struggling, I decided to move the Red Sox and Cubs into their position because despite them going 3-3, they've been playing better baseball than the Padres and Dodgers. So Cubs come in at number 6. That's the last of the middle 5. Last of the 6 to 10. Now top 5. Coming in number 5, dropping from number 3, is the Toronto Blue Jays, who have been struggling and losing ground on the Yankees. Lost a crucial series to the Yankees in New York, in the Bronx. 2 out of 3 from the Yankees, so they lost two. They Yankees gained two games on them from taking 2 out of 3. And now the lead is only 2.5, I believe. Only 2.5. Yep, no, it's only 2 games, and the Red Sox is 3.5. So the Blue Jays are leading ground on the Yankees. They lost ground this week, 2 games. The Yankees, since they took 2 out of 3 from the Blue Jays in the big series, biggest series of the year, I put them in number 4. I put them ahead of the Blue Jays, even though they're in second place. They've been playing better baseball. They played better baseball this week, and they deserve to be in the 4th position. So they're back in the top 5. Who would have thought the Yankees would be back in the top 5 3 weeks ago? But they were struggling, and the Yankee Nation was ready to explode on Boone. They probably still want him out, but right now they're happy. They're happy. As I said, they took 2 out of 3 from the Blue Jays at home. That was a crucial series. Coming at number 3 is the Detroit Tigers. Detroit is in probably the easiest division. They've been in first place all year, and they've been struggling almost the last month or since the All-Star break. They have been the Detroit Tigers. They had their flurry of being good for a little bit 2 weeks ago. Then they struggled the last 2 weeks. They lose 2 out of 3. They lose 2 out of 3 to the Mets. I think they went 2-4. So the New York Yankees 4-2 this week. Detroit Tigers 2-4. So they lose 2 series. One to the Mets and one to the. Yeah, lose 2. Tigers lose 2 out of 3 to the White Sox. You're joking, right? They lost 2 out of 3 to the White Sox at home. That's incredible. Detroit Tigers have been struggling, but they're just trying to win division. I don't know what the match number is. For some reason, the app didn't have the match number. Coming at number 2 is the Philadelphia Phillies, 4-2 this week. 2 out of 3 from the Brewers, 2 out of 3 from the Marlins. They did their job. They did what they needed to do win series. Unfortunately, they lost 2 of their starters in the lineup. Trey Turner, hamstring, right hamstring, and Alec Bohm back on the IL for 10 days with a strained shoulder or nagging shoulder or whatever. His shoulder's been nagging, so they put him on IR. IL. He'll be back probably in 10 days. Trey Turner should be back. They say before the playoffs. They say by the playoffs. So maybe the series before the playoffs he'll play. Maybe we don't even need him because we'll get a bye. I don't know. But hopefully both of them come back healthy because we need them. So the Phillies come at number 2 here. And they are the second best team in baseball right now. And the Brewers, number 1. 1 game away from being the first team to 90 wins. Lost 2 out of 3 to the Phillies. In hindsight, I probably should have the Phillies number 1. Because normally when I have teams that play each other that are in the top 15 and they're close in rankings, I usually have like the Yankees. I put the Yankees ahead of the Blue Jays. But the reason I don't have the Brewers ahead, Phillies ahead, because the Brewers swept the Pirates after. In hindsight, yeah, maybe I should have the Phillies number 1. Maybe I should have the Phillies number one. But the Brewers went 4-2. I'm not gonna drop a team that went 4-2 this week. Um, to number two, they had a winning record. So both had a winning record. So maybe I should have them 1A, 1B, but I don't do that. So Phillies are number two and Brewers number one. Um, both teams are the best teams in baseball right now. Uh, it's going to be an interesting 3 weeks left. About 20, as I said, 19, 20 games for each team left. So that's about roughly about 6 series left. About 6 series left for each team. If not 5, if they have a couple 4 gamers. It's roughly 3. Phillies have 19 games left. They have 3. They have 6 series left. 1 is a 4-gamer. 6 times 3 is 18, and 1 4-game series is 19. So yeah, they have 6 series left. This last series against the rest of the season. Then they play the Royals, and then they have a West Coast trip to LA and Arizona. 2 big series there, and they come back home for the last 2 series against who they play. The last 2 series. I should know this. Last 2 series of the season: Kansas City, and LA, Arizona, Miami, and Minnesota. I think that's it for today, and enjoy the rest of the week, guys. I'll be back for college football tomorrow. I might record it today and drop it tomorrow. I don't know yet, but I have college football, and then NFL show on Thursday. My brother and maybe Clint, for week 2 predictions, and we'll be doing that before probably Thursday late afternoon before the Washington Green Bay game Thursday night, and then I probably will do a Premier League show this week for match week 3. Premier League is back after a week hiatus, so I'll either do that as a short or a show, depends on what I have to do on Friday. I may have to watch some shows, so I don't know if I will be able to do it. I don't know. Um, yep. So for MoneyE, check out this Friday. We'll be doing on Wrestling 30 Years. We did Unforgiven 2002, not 2003. I made a mistake yesterday. I said 2003, 2002. And the main event is Brock Lesnar versus Undertaker for the WWE Championship. You got Triple H versus RVD for the World Heavyweight Championship. After Triple H got handed the title, and then there was Kurt Angle versus Chris Benoit in a great match. That started the rivalry. And then you got a tag team match for some stipulations with Eric Bischoff and Stephanie involved, and then you got a segment that Did Harrison Banner get caught stealing again? Ugh. No, I think he's safe. He might be safe this time. I don't know. Yeah. I love the aggression by Harrison Banner, but that's 2 times he got caught stealing. No, the second one was he was trying to get a double. So I love that aggression on the basis. I understand that you have to be aggressive in this series because you're trying to get runs, and I don't blame him for being aggressive because you need as many runs as you can against this team because uh, this is a huge series. So I understand. So come on, Sosa, to the base hit here. So yeah, so from on Friday, Wrestling 3 years, myself, Daniel, Doug, and myself, and Clamp will be back doing Unforgiven 2002. And then Saturday for the Win Teams Combined, animated Hour Power and the animated Hour Power episode 6, animated Hour Showdown will be on this Wednesday, episode 5. Episode 5 will be on Wednesday at 12 noon for animated showdown, and that will be Claymore versus Spawn, Kuma and Hamba versus Angry Beavers, Double Jaw versus Pirates of Dark Water, and Cleveland Show versus Tom and Jerry. Interesting matchups, so we'll see who wins those. And then episode 6 for the animated Hour of Power, Johnny Quest versus Space Ghost, Battle of Planets versus Gilligan's Planet, Solo Opposites versus Harvey Birdman Attorney at Law, and Invisible versus Static Shock. So check that out on Saturday at 6 p.m. Eastern Time for the animated Hour of Power, and then episode 6 of the animated showdown, episode 6 for Wednesday, September 17th will be 16 versus Chowder, Captain Planet, and the Planeteers versus Hulk Hogan's Black and Wrestling, Ninja Kamuna versus Bonnie Bon Locks, and Star Wars Drones and versus Tokyo. I don't know how to say that one. So, but yeah, check that out. Check Dizzle 99 and Dizzle 99 on Dizzle 97 on YouTube, and Dizzle Verse on Twitch for Daniel's gaming channel. He does it mostly on Twitch. So check the Twitch channel for his live streams, Dizzle Verse, and then Stabcast every Sunday with Mindy and Daniel for the Stabcast, and then back here next Monday for weekend recap. As the playoffs come closer. But for MoneyE, I'm out. I'll be back for the college football, NFL, Premier League, all that good stuff. And make sure to check out my shorts I drop every day. MLB, I stopped doing some MLB. I might start doing that again. I don't know. But I think for the meet, I'm just doing football for now. Yeah, I think for MLB, I'm done for shorts. Not done batting it, but for giving out picks. Wasn't doing so great, so I didn't want to keep doing it. So, but for NFL, I have a short out for Monday Night Football. 6 picks plus a special same game parlay for Monday night. I'll be doing for Monday nights. I'll be giving 6 picks out, 3 plays, 3 player props, and then one special single game parlay for Monday nights. And then so that's only for Monday nights. Monday nights I will give out 7 picks. See, I gave out. And then Sunday, for the Sunday games, I'm going to give out a parlay to player prop touchdown parlay. So Sunday games, I'll give out 7 picks, and then 6 picks plus a special parlay, and then Monday nights, 6 picks plus a special singing parlay. So check those out. Free picks, and check the shorts column. Check out all the shorts I put out. Try to put out mostly the Thursday, Friday, Saturday. No, Thursday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. And maybe Tuesday and Wednesday. Maybe I'll start doing baseball again. I don't know. But when basketball starts, I'll be doing it every day. So, but for MoneyE, I'm out. Later, guys.